Hey man, how you doing?
Hello, doing good. What about you?
Yeah, I'm alright, thank you.
Um, all right. See if I can screen share. Okay, so before we,
Oh, it's so depressing to look at.
yeah. Um, I mean, the worst thing I spot out is just the farm, not that high. And if we look at mine, I have like 8.7 average, while you have 6.8. And I feel like you just want to be consistent and climb with Yorick. Focus on farming is like the most important thing. Because if
Yeah.
you can just try to get to like 9 or 10 seeds per minute, you're gonna be so strong if the game is like gonna be above 30 minutes or something. Um, but do you like have any specific problems in mind that you struggle with?
Um, like sometimes I don't know. Say I win lane, for example, or I at least push them back, and then I'm not really sure what to do there. Like a lot of these games, again, I don't want to like blame team, but in some of them, I'm getting like 1 and 10s and stuff like that. In like I think two of those
Yeah.
last three games. If you go before, is it the 3-4-1 maybe? Look at the state of this game. Like,
Oh yeah. I mean that's just a classic. And it doesn't matter if you're gonna be in Silver 4 or if you're
yeah,
gonna be in like Grandmaster.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, I completely get that. Yeah, and like I said, I don't, I've read all like stuff online. Like I don't me like obviously I'm silver if I've been in here for however many games, but I feel yeah, I don't really know what exactly is mainly going wrong, if I'm honest.
yeah. I mean we can maybe this is not a good game to look at, but I think the Fiora game, you have like decent stats, and I'm sure we can find something that you can do this game.
Yeah.
And then I see that you do Comet sometimes, Conquer sometimes. What's your thought process?
Checking analytics and seeing like because basically I've been flipping. I know I shouldn't be doing this really either, but I've been going mid sometimes and top sometimes.
Yeah,
Generally, it's Comet in mid, or if it's going to be a lane where I just know I'm like Fiora's generally a pretty tough matchup. She wasn't so hard for me in this one. Um, I mean, we lost, yeah, but like
yeah,
it went wrong kind of everywhere. Um, if I'm honest, sometimes I don't really because I used to like pretty much exclusively run Airstrike with Demolish and I don't know. It might have been conditioning because I've watched your game, other ones on YouTube of your coaching,
yeah,
and I think you might have raved about conditioning. I might be wrong about that. It might have been the other one. And I've only recently just switched to second wind because I read that was better for if I'm getting poked constantly by more range champions, and then obviously burn plating is for I think melee, but I think I might have just forgot that in this game.
yeah. I mean,
But generally, it's fair strike or comet, just because I don't feel like I properly utilize Conqueror. 'Cause I've been going a lot of lethality builds, so relying on my emo, which obviously Conqueror, I guess I don't need so much.
yeah, I mean Conquer is more for the all-in.
Yeah,
If you're just gonna try to cage them, just throw E, and then you just hit them until they die. I feel like
yeah,
Conquer is gonna do the most. But then if it's you're gonna be more passive, just farm, just throw some E's and just back off, then I feel like Comet is fine.
yeah,
It just depends. It's so matchups. Like if you're gonna play versus a champion with a lot of dashes. So if you play Tryndamere, or if you play versus Tryndamere and go Comet, that's
yeah.
obviously not gonna help you that much because it's just gonna spin around.
I read about going like maybe like phase rush on like mobile bruisers like Tryndamere, I guess.
Yeah, I mean it's like a band-aid, so it's not gonna be able to dive you early on. And then after that, you should be able to do more after a couple of items.
Yeah.
Um, but I think in this silo it's not necessary because they're not gonna
Mm.
go for those crazy dives at level 6 or something.
Yeah.
Um, but you said that Fiora was hard early.
No, this one wasn't. I've fought Fioras, which are way more of an issue than she was. She wasn't so tough, but I guess I kind of ditched my lane a bit to kind of get other things happening. I think the volley bear got completely out of control on their team.
Yeah,
Um, so
it
I
was a
went
big boy.
Divine Sundera. Yeah. So I went Divine Sundera. I figured it would still help against Fiora, but it was mainly for a volley bear. But that Yasuo was also 2v1 in our bot lane.
Yeah.
I think in this game our support ended up just roaming around, but obviously he still went 1 and 10. You know what I mean?
He got the Mobis. He's ready for it.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know. A Nautilus taking Heartsteel, whatever. I don't know because again, without blaming my team, I feel like some of these games just feel. And I've seen that whole like 33% win where some of them are like just unwinnable, and I kind of put these kind of games down to it, like that other one that I just showed you with the
Yeah,
uh
this one.
yeah, like I just know that I just was never winning that game.
Yeah,
I think at one point, I don't know if you can actually check on here, but we were maybe like 0 to 14 or something as a team. It was crazy.
yeah. I mean,
It's
mm,
more games that are kind of fairly equal in the learning phase, and then I maybe just don't either maximize kind of my what's the word like how I've like my dominance, I guess, like how I've started, or well, I don't know. Obviously, you if you think a particular game's worth looking at, obviously, I'm happy to go through that.
yeah. I mean, I think the first game we can look at is this game.
Yeah,
But I think even the games where, like this game, for example, sure, your team is gonna run it down and you're gonna lose the game most likely. But I feel like it's possible to just push the CS number a bit and to avoid some of the deaths. And then in other games, that's gonna be enough for you to win the game. This game is just over 100% or 95% of the games. Uh,
honestly, I think I got all three of those kills maybe in our base.
yeah, I mean,
So
it's possible, but it's like small things that you could probably do in lane that gonna give you more CS, gonna give you better
yeah,
bases. And you can maybe punish enemy top a bit
yeah. I
more.
think even in that game, I did die in lane as well. It might have been to a gank, to be fair, but I still obviously I could have done played better in lane, I guess.
Yeah,
Like even before the game went completely messed up.
but I also think like you can't really change how your teammates are gonna play.
Yeah,
So if you're gonna look at this game and you're gonna be like, yeah, I can't win because my support has died 10 times, that's not really gonna help you climb or grow.
yeah.
So
I will hold my hands up to it when a game's like completely on its arse like this. I will get the chat out, like, which I know I also shouldn't, but like when I know it's lost anyway, I just do it
yeah, I mean,
until
everyone does it, but
yeah.
it's still not the best thing you could do. And,
Oh yeah, I know that.
and
Yeah,
I think Yorick specifically, like he's so good at winning hard games. Because if enemy team is gonna be like super convinced that all right, we have 20 kills up on enemies, there's no way we're gonna lose. And then they just, oh shit, wait, they have a Yorick inside, and you just took the base in like 2 minutes.
mm,
Um, I think if you play Shen top or Ornn or something, if your team is
yeah.
gonna grief, you just can't do anything. But
So
Yorick,
yeah, like Shen and Yorick are my two mains really, and I've been trying Alawi, but in normals, I haven't really brought her into ranked yet.
yeah, I can't remember if I have one of those games, but I had it in the past. I know on my YouTube, I had like one game where I just got a base stress entire enemy team and I'm gonna win barely. Um, so I think just have a look at the game. Um, Probably so many things you could do different,
Oh
and
yeah,
I think
definitely.
I'm guessing you don't really have a plan at the start of a game. So like now, you think
Here,
anything about what's about to happen?
the only thing I think I might have warded the blue just to see whether they started,
Yeah.
and that's about it. I think I normally sit up in the top tri-bush up here.
To Summoner's Rift.
Yeah.
And then I was watching, obviously, what was happening down there.
Just one thing. If they're gonna go this way, and you're gonna stand like this, if you stand like up here instead,
Yeah.
like
No,
just at the
I know,
edge,
yeah.
it's just gonna save you like half a second or something.
Yeah.
So like if they had Nautilus or something,
yeah.
Maybe that's gonna save you, but small things.
I always do check to make sure I'm not gonna get, I don't know, like a Morgana Q or a Blitz or Nautilus hook or Thresh, for example.
Yeah. You're gonna check here. You're gonna ward. I think that's good because it's pretty important to know where Volibear is gonna start. But just one thing here, like, so Fiora is gonna be strong at the U level 1, right?
Yes. Yes.
So you don't see Fiora. If Fiora would be in the bush here, what would happen?
She'll run me down likely.
Yeah. And
or
then you're
pop in a flash maybe.
Yeah, and then you're gonna lose like 50% health, and you have the base. So I feel like if you don't see Fiora, it's too risky to work like this. What I would do instead is I'll hover here a bit, and then I would just. I don't think I would go for the ward just because she's stronger. You don't see her, and I would just stay here. And then when minions are about to spawn, I would just walk into this bush and stay in this bush.
Okay.
Because if I don't know if to do it in this silo, but if the Fiora is good, you can just stay in this bush, wait for the wave to come in. Wave's gonna come, zip. And here, it's just gonna pull the wave. So she's gonna pull the minions upwards, then it's just always gonna push towards her. And since Fiora is stronger than you, you can't really break the freeze.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it happens often for you.
Not so often.
It probably doesn't. So maybe it's not that important for you now, but like in higher elo, it's like the hardest thing for Yorick. Just to survive early game until you get level 6. But sure, you get the ward. You should know that alright, Volibear is most likely gonna be bot side.
Yeah.
And then that should mean that on second, third wave, Volibear is gonna be top side. So we don't want the wave to be stuck here. Right?
Yep. Okay.
So I think your goal here should be to just not push, only last hit, just to make sure that it's not gonna push towards Fiora, because she's gonna be stronger. So the wave is gonna be here, you can't crash it.
Yeah.
And I also like to start E in most matchups, just because it's so hard to just walk up.
Honestly, I agree. I normally do. I've watched other videos, and it's E is obviously just 9 times out of 10 safer, but it feels. What I'm going to say is contradicts myself, because I guess if I feel like it was more a mid lane thing that I've taken back up to top lane, where I'd start Q, kind of get my 4 Graves, and then E, obviously a mid laner, and then you do them for like half the health, but you're not really going to do that with Fiora, I guess.
I mean, you can if the Fiora is bad, but I feel like you should just play in a way, or maybe you shouldn't in lower elo, but I feel like it's just more consistent overall.
Yeah.
Like sure, you got a couple of Graves here and you just kill them instantly. It's not gonna change much. I think you start. Not much is gonna happen. Guessing. Also here, you went for the Q here on Fiora, and I think in a different scenario where it's gonna be, do you want to Q the Fiora or do you want to get a minion with Q? I feel like you should just always go for the farm.
It's just I don't know. I think my mentality was, well, is she running grasp? I can't.
Yeah, yeah,
She
she
went for a
does.
grass proc, so I just wanted to trade back a bit.
Yeah.
I completely agree with you, but yeah,
Um,
that was the mentality.
yeah, and also, I'm not sure if you know this, but one grass proc, just the 7 health you get, it's like worth, I don't know, 12 or 13 gold or something. So
Okay.
if you're just gonna trade even, like Q for Q, and she's gonna get grass proc, she's still gonna win out. It's just unnecessary. So you're gonna catch a wave. This is normally the tricky part for Yorick, when the wave's gonna push out, and then might struggle to just crash wave. But we'll see. If Yorick's gonna do crazy roam,
First
being
blood.
missing. Now your mid laner is gonna be happy. And she lived. Right. Okay, so I think here, since you saw Fiora, she's far away. I think you can just pop the ghouls, just push out the wave.
Okay.
You have a ward. Maybe when you see Fiora, you just go place a ward here. Just to be sure that Volibear is not gonna come. If you're scared that Volibear is gonna be topside. Yeah, I don't think you've seen Volibear yet. You see Fiora now. I think you just need to figure out, okay, I see Fiora mid. Do I want to push on this wave, or do I want to wait for this wave and then crash it? Because you don't really do that much here. You don't need to think about much. You just lost it. So you have time to think about, all right, when do I want to base? And I think it's pretty important to know beforehand. Because if you're gonna wait a couple of seconds, it might just be too late. So since you don't see Volibear here, if you're here, I think you should be able to have enough time. Just pop Q, just try to crash it before they come. And as I said, you can maybe put a ward here and then just push at the same time. Because it's just very important on Yorick to just plan ahead when you want to base. You have 700 gold now. And then after the wave, you're gonna have like 800, 850, which is like, it's a decent spot to base on, I think.
Do you have any opinion on like going cull or anything? Like normally on my first back, obviously, kind of depending on what I'm planning on building, it'll either be, I guess, Sheen or I don't know, towards like my Duskblade. I forgot what the item is.
Ravenous Hydra?
Honestly, I never really buy it. This is more of a recent thing. I don't know, is because I know they took away the lifesteal from the ghouls, like proccing it. I don't know if it's something I should be buying if I'm ahead or behind, really, because obviously it's quite an expensive item.
Wait, when you do lethality Yorick, what do you rush?
Lethality was. I used to run Black Cleaver, get the lethality item, and then is it Cerelia's Grudge was
Oh
the
wait, that's
normal.
me. Um, yeah, because I think when you go lethality, especially mid, if you use rush Ravenous Hydra, I feel like it does so much for you.
Yeah.
You use one shot wave, you heal up a little bit. Sure, it's not gonna be as good because the Maiden's not gonna work with it, but I feel like it's better than just going, I don't know, Duskblade first item or something. Yeah, so you did rush it here. But yeah,
So sorry, you think Ravenous with lethality is still kind of like a viable thing to do then?
it's probably the best thing you could do. Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends a little bit who you're playing against. If you're gonna
Yeah.
play against someone who's maybe gonna be able to one shot you at level 6, if you're not gonna get some health, then maybe it's not gonna be the best buy.
Yeah,
Uh,
because I feel like I know, like the way I often play a Yorick is maybe not passive, but I obviously using more of a mage, like throwing my E's out there,
yeah.
um, which which is why the lethality is so obviously strong. Like, there's so many times I've thrown like 1E and they kind of disrespect, I guess, the damage that I can do, and it just one-shots them.
Yeah, but I also think like when you play like that, normally you just throw the E and then you just whack the wave and try to get more ghouls up, right?
Yeah.
But then with Ravenous Hydra, you especially if you had a maiden up as well, it's just so easy to get multiple ghouls compared to like any other item. And I feel like that's almost the best thing with the item.
Okay.
Also, the stats are good. Like even if the lifesteal is not gonna work as good anymore, it's still really good, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, about Kull, I do like it, but at the same time, I feel like it just delays your first spike a bit.
Okay.
So like when I play, normally I like to do longsword refillable start because that way I can get my mythic.
I do as well, but it's because I've had rough times with Fiora in the past.
Yeah,
So if I maybe fought a Yone as well, which I know Yorick is meant to be, but I struggle with Yone.
no,
So,
Yone is impossible. I hate the matchup.
yeah, so I
It's
run
so
Doran's
disgusting.
Shield for that as well.
Yeah, I mean that's fair, but so like this game, if you go Doran Shield, 450 gold, then you're gonna get a Kull. That's gonna delay
My
your
next
first
next,
item with
yeah,
900 gold.
yeah.
So it's like, do you think you need? Do you think it's more important to get the item quicker and get a lead that way, or do you think it's not gonna matter? So you can maybe just get Kull and just wait until you farm 100 CS, and then after you finish it, then you can be strong. You just need to try to figure out what you think it's worth. And yeah, I don't know in this matchup if I'm gonna go D-Shield if I want to get Kull. I don't think I would. But if you're gonna play versus, I don't know, a free matchup, you're gonna play versus a tank or something, and you know that, all right, I don't need to get a mythic, I just need to get as much gold as possible, then you can maybe just throw in a Kull. Also depends on your gold, obviously. If you have 800 gold, then you can get longsword and Kull. And I feel like that's better than getting double longsword and you're gonna sit on like 100 gold or something. It depends a bit. But I feel like as long as you have a plan why you want to build it, I feel like that's like good enough already. And I also like when I play Yorick, you go Demolish Second Wind. I feel like Second Wind is fine into Fiora, sure. But if Fiora is gonna be stronger than you, I feel like Demolish is not gonna do too much. But then the way I like to play Yorick is that most matchups I just go Conditioning and Overgrowth or Revitalize, but most of the time Overgrowth. And what that's gonna do is that it's just always gonna give me some stats after the time. Like in a 20 to 30 minute game, Overgrowth is gonna give me 150 to like 250 HP. That's like what's 4 to 600 gold every game. Conditioning is gonna be about the same. It's like I can't remember exactly, but I think the armor you get is like 12 armor, and that's almost 300 gold. That's a magic resist, so it's like 500 gold. And then it's gonna scale a bit more if you go Hullbreaker and stuff. So that's just always gonna give me some value. And then if I do longsword as well and refillable, it's just super gold efficient. And if I can just play it safe, I don't know, I don't need to do anything early, because after 12 minutes or something, I'm just gonna get so much extra gold.
And then and then
Yeah, and then
obviously
after that, then you can
upgrade
play the
or
game, but you
whatever.
don't need to do it early.
Yeah.
Because sure, you could do like Second Wind, you can go Grasp or something, and you could try to fight people early, but most of the times you should be weaker. So I feel like the most consistent option is it's just to play to scale, focus on farming, you don't do any risk plays. Then if you can just combine conditioning, overgrowth, and like the most gold efficient start item you can get, if you could do that without dying too much, I feel like that's just gonna give you the best boost after 12 minutes. So it's something to think about. But then if you think that you're fighting a lot early game and you can't really, I don't know, try to wait for 12
When are
minutes.
you kind of taking grasp then?
Pretty much never. I
Okay. You're Conqueror generally, or if not, Comet.
Yeah, I like phase rush some games. If I feel like I don't need the extra damage from Comet, like into Vayne for example, I could go Comet here, and maybe it's gonna do some extra damage on Vayne. But I think the way I'm gonna kill Vayne, I don't need the extra damage. It's gonna be like she's gonna fail her Q. I'm gonna cage her, and I'm just gonna kill her. And I don't think I need the extra damage from Comet to do that. And a Conquer should be hard for me to stack versus her most of the times. But I'm just having phase rush. So if enemy jungler is gonna gank, I can maybe just proc phase rush and just run away, just be safe. I feel like that just does more.
Do your ghoul, because is phase rush if you hit them 3 times, is it? So do the ghouls proc phase rush?
Yeah, sometimes. It depends a bit how the ghouls are spawned. I can't remember exactly how it is. I think if you have the it's a bit tricky. If you spawn Maiden at level 16, that's gonna spawn like 3 or 4 ghouls, can't remember. But I think they count as the same hit or same damage source. So if you're gonna throw E, it's not gonna work. But if you have like 2 ghouls from the Maiden when you spawn it, and then you're gonna yeah, I can't remember exactly, but if you're gonna spawn a couple of ghouls with a Q, then they're gonna count as like 2 different scenarios or instances. So sometimes it works.
Yeah.
But not always. It's a bit iffy. But even then, just throwing the E, the ghouls are gonna jump and you do 1 Q, that's gonna proc it. I do that sometimes. I pretty much only go grasp into a Kali. I went it into a Rennick now because I kind of like the rune, even though I know it's not the best. It's just fun to play early game and just try to hit them, just try to get some HP. But most of the time, Conquer is just gonna be more consistent. Because then again, if I'm gonna do longsword, I'm gonna pick scaling. Why would I pick a keystone who demands me to fight early? Because out the lane phase grasp is not gonna do anything.
So still Conqueror even if I go lethality. I guess I'm still, my Q is still affected by like the.
I think lethality is a bit different. I think Comet is fine.
Okay.
In most scenarios when you do lethality. Because that's just gonna be alright, you're gonna throw the E, ghouls are gonna jump. You're not gonna do that much more.
Yeah.
So it's just hard to stack Conquer that way. But I think Comet is totally fine if you wanna do that. Yeah. Now I hope you're gonna base. You have 900 gold. Let's see what you buy. You go Shin, 2 wards, or 2 potions, and a ward.
Yeah. So I figured Fiora's gonna hit 6. Volley hasn't been top yet. The wave's pushed in. I reckon there might be some fighting coming up. So I take the extra potions because I just had the money.
Yeah. And at this stage, do you already have in mind? All right, I'm gonna get divine, or
I'm gonna get divine, yeah.
yeah. Um.
Or I'm definitely gonna go divine or Trinity, but then the way the game goes is I'm gonna get divine.
Yeah. Because I think I played Yorick here. I would probably get Ravenous Hydra. Then I would just buy pickaxe. And that way I can spend most of the gold. Maybe even Vamp Scepter, but I think I would just go pickaxe. Because I think a pickaxe is gonna give me more fighting power than a Sheen. But I mean, yeah, if you don't think about going Ravenous Hydra, then obviously not gonna be an option. But I think that if you can just get Ravenous Hydra into a Fiora matchup, you just push the wave with ghouls, just one shot the waves, and then you just go farm jungle camps.
Yeah, I guess I know that Fiora is. I don't know if she actually does, but Fiora's generally build Ravenous as well for their wave clear. So I like kind of cancelling that out. I guess. That
Yeah.
makes sense. Like I know she's gonna get it.
I feel like they most of the times just rush Divine now and then
Yeah.
Ravenous second item.
Okay.
But yeah, I think I will just go Ravenous here. But then if you think you need Divine just to be tanky if they're gonna dive or something, then sure. But just being able to spend most of the gold, because now, like, you spend 700 gold
Yeah.
on an item, and then I feel like getting 2 wards here or 2 potions. I feel like it's just a waste of gold. Because at this stage, I don't think you need health potions. I think it's only for like earlier game.
Okay.
And then after that, you have some stand on the queue. You have the maiden to just push out the wave when you need to. So I feel like this is just gonna delay your items a bit. And I think it's good that you ran back instead of just teleporting, because it's pointless to teleport at this stage.
Yeah.
And I think that's just a good thing to do. Like, if you don't need to use TP, don't use it. Gonna collect the wave, you're gonna get up 6. Nocturne is gonna gank.
Yeah. So I ping him off because obviously I've got a massive wave I want to get.
Yeah.
And then he goes for it.
Yeah, I mean,
Which is why the mid, yeah.
it happens to me so many times as well, where you only want to do something and I just have a big wave and I just refuse to do anything.
It's even worse when I play Shen, because obviously I end up catching like a similar position, and they always come, and I'm like, I need to get this wave, else I won't get anything.
Yeah. Like in this scenario, let's say you would just run straight at Fiora, Nocturne's gonna go, and you kill Fiora, and you get a kill. I feel like just catching the wave alone is gonna give you more XP and the same amount of gold. So it's like just a safest option to sit here in his farm. You don't want to do this. So maybe just spam pinging. Just go away or something. If it's not gonna work, then it's not gonna work. But it's pretty awkward. And then if
Yeah, he does a lot more damage than I thought he'd do, if I'm honest.
yeah, but like even then,
Yeah.
Fiora has flash. Even if you get Fiora flash, it's still not good for you.
No,
And I don't know if you know where Volibear is at this stage. But let's say Volibear would be like just around the corner. Maybe he's gonna be here, maybe he's gonna be here. And then Nocturne is gonna go here, Volibear's just gonna go on him, you just kill him. Then you just stand there and you just lost the wave and Nocturne died. It just sucks. Sure, she based. Volibear's not around, you have the maiden. When did you use maiden?
I used it during the when Nocturne appears and he's lingering.
Yeah.
I drop it here to clear the wave quicker. But
Yeah.
I guess in clearing the wave quicker, it also messes up like me last hitting because of the power and the maid and the ghouls.
Yeah, a little bit. And then it's just you're gonna join with the maiden. The ghouls are still gonna be stuck in the wave. They're not really gonna follow. So I like to just keep the maiden, not use it until I need it. For sure. Now you're gonna push it out. You see her maybe?
Yeah, we do. Yeah. I think I get these first 2 plates on this push.
Yeah. Because I think if a thing you could do, I would just assume that Fiora is gonna base in this push or something. Maybe not here. But if you just think that, alright, there is a small chance that Fiora is gonna base here, you just ignore 2 free minions here. You just walk up, just hit the backline a bit, and you just try to scout. Then if you can see Fiora, you stop her basing. If you just land E, then she's just screwed. You're not gonna be able to dive her maybe, but she's gonna be stuck. Then you can maybe get a couple of plates. But But now she's just gonna TP back and get. TP is a bit delayed, but got 1 plate.
Linger.
Gonna stay for 2. That's good. So it's not that bad. But you could maybe get like a 3rd plate even if you manage to supper.
Oh, okay.
But I think at 7.5 minutes, have like half the turret. It's already really good. So it's not the biggest thing you should focus on, but it's just small things. Now, 1100 gold. I guess you're gonna get the page. Ooh, you're okay. I think after you get the plate, just insta base. For some reason, you want to stick around. Ward,
Yeah.
ward for the rift.
Ward. Yeah.
Sure. I would use a normal ward here.
Yeah, because I guess I can't. There's no defending it or anything.
Yeah, and then enemy team is gonna know that you have vision on them. If you have a normal ward, maybe they just start it and they don't know that you see it, and then maybe your team is gonna be able to react.
Yeah.
But yeah, going for the base, I feel like it's so important there. You have so much gold, 1100, and by you staying, it's not gonna change anything, and you have TP. And now, if you played versus Garen something, and you thought that, all right, maybe Garen's just gonna one-shot the wave, then you can maybe argue that sure, maybe you should stick around, but you have TP, so you can use base, TP back, and you're fine. You're gonna be stronger than Fiora. Even if Fiora is like a hard matchup, this stage with the Maiden, you have 2 plates on her, and you're gonna get like. You're gonna be able to spend all the gold. I feel like you should be stronger than Fiora if you use fight in the wave. I would use base if you think that she's gonna be able to crash this wave before you can get back. TP. Otherwise, you just run back. Let's see what's gonna happen now. You're gonna collect the wave. Gonna fight her a bit. Gonna fight her a bit. Now you place this. Wait, what happened to?
Ollie kills the other ward.
Yeah, I mean he did sweep here, so even if you place a normal ward, he would spot it. But yeah,
Blue team double kill.
it's yeah. So now you have so much gold, and I think when you're pushing the wave here, like even here, you need to try to figure out when do I crash the wave, and how do I crash the wave? Because all right, you look at your wave, the next wave is gonna be a cannon wave. It's gonna take a bit longer to just fully push it. Then do you want to build up this wave, the next wave, then you crash two waves, or do you just want to try to hard push coming wave and then take a base? Because going for the play on Fiora to chunk her a bit, I feel like it's pretty useless because your only goal now should be to find a good angle to base on. You spend all your gold. You don't want to try to kill her. You just need to focus on what wave do I crash on. You have the Maiden now, and you're just pushing. Then, since you don't pay attention to it, the wave's gonna be a pretty awkward spot. If you just push a bit slower, you could wait so this wave is gonna join here. Then you're gonna be super safe to just push the remaining minions.
Yeah.
And you just take a base. But now, wave's gonna look like this. We're gonna go here because Volibear around. Now, I'm guessing Volibear is just gonna oink around in... Yeah, around this area. You have no wards. If it's gonna be here, you're gonna try to push it out. You're just dead. Instead, I think you know that Volibear is around.
Yeah.
You have a ward. You can't crash the wave. Now, maybe... Yeah. I mean, she's pushing it a little bit, but she could just keep the wave here until you try to do something about it. But it's hard because of all the bits around. You just try to figure out how you can crash wave as safe as possible. If it's either by hard pushing or just waiting for the next wave, you push it slow.
Okay.
And then you take the base and you spend the gold. But now instead, gonna be here. While your jungler is not gonna be close, so it should be very unrealistic for you to get this. Now enemy team is gonna be scared for some reason. You stall them. It's good. But you don't wanna fight here.
No, but I'm like spamming for the pings because I don't want to just give it up. But...
Yeah, but I think if... So here you're pinging, asking for assistance. Nocturne is here. And if you look at mid, you see, oh shit, Lux has 200 HP. Yeah, I think we just have to give it up.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be here in the first place if we just take our bases and then we're gonna be stronger. We would be back in lane already. We would just push it out, place a ward here. We're gonna be fine. But it didn't happen, so we're gonna be stuck here. You're gonna catch this wave. Or get the rift. Same thing here. How do I crush this? When do I get my base off? Now, if you have TP, you don't need to crush it, but ideally, if you could just crush a wave, you can maybe save TP. If you see here that, alright, I'm not gonna find a good angle to push it out, just because I have no vision and you just got rift, then you could kill this wave, you base, maybe TP back.
Yeah.
Maybe run back is ignore the one wave.
I think, yeah, I see Fiora in mid,
Yeah.
which is why I now go.
And then you, ooh, a yummy plate.
Yeah.
Then I'm guessing you're gonna stick around for a long time.
I did, and then realised I wasn't doing as much damage to the tower as I thought I would at this
Yeah.
point.
So maybe if you spend 2k gold on some AD items, then maybe. Yeah, you're stuck in lane, and then the 2 potions you bought haven't really done anything.
No.
So that's... I'm guessing you're gonna sell the potions later on. Now you see a yummy plate.
I think they really go for it on my maiden. Oh yeah, this is... yeah, I felt like we could have done something here, but Nocturne isn't bothered.
Yeah, I mean, from you, even if you think you see an angle here, you have Mythic in base. I think your Mythic is gonna cost you like 2300 or something. SH, a bit more maybe, can't remember. But if you have your Mythic here, when Fiora is gonna be stuck on Shin and Longsword, you can almost 1v2 them.
Yeah, that makes sense. I fully agree with you.
And it hurts my soul to see it.
I'm still not back in it. Mad back.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. You had like 7 or 8 minutes, you got half the tower. So then, if you just manage to find a good base off, so you get your items, it's so easy to just take the remaining turret. And now, oh, you gonna base? Yes. So now you had a mythic, but you don't have the maiden because it died somewhere. Oh yeah, here. Oh wait, did you E?
I think I throw out an E. And I always do it, and I just
Yeah.
no ghouls, not gonna get anything with it, and I just kill Maiden for no reason. I'm so bad for it when they're under tower, and I know that I don't need to do it, and I do it.
Yeah, but the dopamine kick.
Yeah, basically.
Alright. It's fine. You get a mythic.
Yeah, so I think I go Trinity and then immediately
Swap
go
it.
back and get Divine, yeah.
Yeah,
I see Bolivar's 5-0.
and the bot lane as well.
Yeah.
I feel like you're down a bit in CS. It could be a lot higher, but I also think it comes down to the way you didn't base.
And didn't get Ravenous Hydra at the start. Or at least Tiamat.
Yeah, it would help, but even if you just had Divine or Trinity Force, I still think you can get some more farm. Maybe get a Krugs or something if you have free time. It could be higher. Sure, you haven't died too much. You tip it bot. Tip it mid, because they're gonna pick a fight, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the plates are gone, and
Yeah.
it's a big bounty on Volibear, so I think it makes sense.
I was going for Molly, obviously, but yeah, he died before I got there.
Yeah, but you got a kill. I think here, does it really matter if Fiora is gonna get the
Get
turret?
this as well.
Sure, it sucks a little bit. I don't like to group up too early with Yorick.
Like Silver, we play Arams and Silver.
Yeah. But I think if you want to group up, if you could just make sure that you can spawn some ghouls on the side, who's gonna push without you, then grouping up is like the best thing you could do. It's so good. Because then if Fiora not gonna have teleport, it's either gonna be forced to go top, it's catch the wave that your ghouls are gonna push, or she's gonna group up. If she's gonna group up here, you could sit and just hug the tower or something, because you don't need to do anything, because you're gonna get the top gold anyway, or most of the gold. Oh, you're gonna fight again. Yora died. Got a kill on Volibear. Huge. Ari just refuses to use ultimate. Love it. Like, this fight, if you somehow could put some ghouls top, you have the ghouls here.
Yeah, and then I probably Q spawned them and ran them into the jungle.
Yeah.
And let them push, yeah.
If you just leave them and you have ultimate,
Yeah.
you also
yeah,
got 11
yeah.
now, so you're gonna
Obviously,
get
when
3
I
ghouls.
see it, it's like so obvious as well.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, it's super easy in hindsight to tell you what to do. But I think if your goal should just beforehand, just try think, all right, if I'm gonna group up, I always gonna have the ghouls on side. Or not always, but most of the times. If you just think about that in advance, let's see how much time you have. So here, just pick the fight, you're gonna go top. Now, obviously, you don't know that it's gonna be a fight here, because it makes no sense. Trying to go for Fiora. Fiora is low on mana. I think here it's safe to assume that Fiora is gonna try to base.
yeah.
So, at this stage, look at my vision. Then it's like, alright, what do I wanna do here? Do I wanna base? I have 1100. Could base, I don't need it, but I could. Or do I wanna try to get this bounty? What do you wanna do? Then, alright. Gonna try to get some ghouls up, because it's gonna help me push. If I wanna go for this. I have it. Oh, we're gonna gank Nocturne, alright. And then, maybe it's hard to see it now, but maybe beforehand, you can see that very close to 11. 11 is a big spike. So if you just know that beforehand, that you need 2 free minions to get 11, even if you don't see enemy team going here, if you just know it beforehand, then it's a lot easier here to just react. Alright, I kill 2 minions, I get 11, I move down.
Yeah.
And then this is gonna push, and you're gonna be strong, and you're gonna have ghouls here. That's just perfect scenario for Yorick. Because you go for these fights, you get a couple of kills. Pretty good. And you will have 4 or 3 ghouls here.
Yeah.
I push it. Maybe they just take the tower solo. It's just perfect. Then you get mid tower as well. Take this wave, and all of a sudden, instead of 2.2k, maybe you're gonna have 2.5. If you get the tower, maybe even higher, but I think it's unlikely. But it's just those small things. We're gonna make sure that instead of having 110 CS, if you just do it like every single game, every single scenario you can find, maybe you have 160, 170 maybe. And having 170 CS is better than having 3 kills at this stage, gold-wise. And that's just always gonna be more consistent as well. Because if you would pick the fight here and you just lost, then it sucks and you can't get anything. But living golds here and just oink around, it's always gonna give you gold. But yeah, you're pretty fed. I'm gonna go for the Hullbreaker, which I think is fine. Chase Fiora a bit. Or gonna pick a fight. And you lost the fight.
Yeah.
Sucks. I don't think you die though. Nope. Okay, so do you like to group up and fight a lot, mid to late game, or do you like to go side?
Normally, I do try and obviously push sides, but my team was just gonna lose everything. Like 1 for 6, 2 for 7, 1 for 4. I know Lux has kills, but still died 5 times. We've got like against a 9 and 2 and a 10 and 3. I figure we'd 100% lose a team fight if I'm not there.
Yeah, okay. Because I think like the worst feeling ever for Yorick is if you're gonna get Hullbreaker, then you're gonna be forced to group up.
Yeah.
And you think you're gonna be super tanky, but then you just die.
Like, cause sometimes, yeah, I don't know if I should be like when like at this point, obviously I know we're behind, we're losing.
Yeah.
Like, should I build Hullbreaker or should I be looking to group up with a team and then buy something? Obviously, because Hullbreaker isn't redundant. Obviously, it still gives nice stats, but there's obviously better stuff I can get.
Yeah. I think it's fine to go Hullbreaker, but then you only try to play side. Because like even if your entire team is feeding like this, as long as you don't walk towards them and try to group with them, hopefully they're not gonna pick a fight 4v5. Then enemy team has 2 dragons. Next dragon is gonna spawn soonish. I don't know when exactly. Want to see it. But let's say like 1.5 minutes, dragon is gonna spawn. They're gonna go with. If you then at this stage, if you had Hullbreaker, if you just farmed a bit more, and you just go top here with Hullbreaker. Enemy team is gonna go for the dragon. If you're gonna group here with your team, enemy team is still gonna get a dragon, most likely. Because it should just be so much stronger. But you're gonna be stronger than Fiora. And I don't think Fiora is gonna try to defend this tower at this stage. So she's just gonna group up here as well. If you're gonna be top here, Hullbreaker, you're gonna push. No one's gonna be here. Push, 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 push. They get dragon, which they would get anyway. But you get the tower. Then maybe, since it's like low elo, even in higher elo, the macro just sucks from people. Maybe they think, alright, we're gonna say bot here. Try to get this tower. When you're gonna be top. And then, if Lux is gonna be alive, Lux just ults the wave. And you can't do anything. Maybe you're gonna get this tower as well.
Because, like, there's been so many times where I will, if I'm not already pushing a side lane, I'll be with the team baiting dragon, and then I'll just TP immediately away. Like when all their team comes up to contest it, then I TP out of the dragon to like wherever.
Yeah.
Side lane's pushing, like kind of like the reverse of what you're saying, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, that's also good if you just prepare some golds on the wave, so it's gonna push out. If it's just gonna be a normal wave, let's see. Okay, so here, they're gonna let's say they're gonna base and they're gonna go dragon. You just have a normal wave that's gonna go here. it's not gonna push fast enough. But if you died now, but to say they would just go base, you can just prepare some goals. So you just make sure that the wave's gonna push. Then you can maybe group up, play with the team a bit. Maybe you even go bot, you prepare some goals here. Then Dragon is spawning, top is pushing, maybe top's gonna be here with some goals. Bot is also gonna push with the goals. Then you can just oink around here. Then you see that, alright, we can't get the dragon. And then you just TP top and just try to go for some towers. That's also fine. And if you do it that way, where you have goals both top and bot, and you're gonna TP top, enemy team is not gonna think about bot wave pushing. You're gonna think, alright, we got dragon, Yorick is pushing top, we have the base, defend top. And then this long lane, your ghouls are gonna get most of the minions at the stage. And you're gonna get so much gold and XP.
Yeah.
So I think that's the best way to play Yorick. If your team is gonna grief, you know you can't trust them.
Release Maiden much?
Very rarely. I do
Yeah,
sometimes.
I've obviously seen like people doing it on videos, but I generally often don't feel like I get any value out of doing it. But I guess unless you're maybe contesting over something, Maiden's pushing a side lane, you win the fight maybe, and then I can TP down there and push it with her. But
Yeah, but the thing is, like, if you know that you're gonna pick a fight,
want Maiden.
you really wanna have the maiden.
Yeah.
And then, if you don't have the maiden, you shouldn't really pick the fight. Maybe in some scenarios, but most of the times it's just you're gonna be too weak. So I think just leaving the ghouls, you're gonna push the wave anyway. You don't need the maiden on the side. I think the only scenario, maybe not the only, but the biggest scenario I can think of is you don't have TP, enemy team is gonna go for the Nash, and they took inhib. So super minions are gonna push towards you. Then if you just have rank 2 ultimate, you can just drop it, and it's just gonna push out super minion wave. That way, you don't need to be here without teleport, and you can just hug your team. Make sure they don't die. I think that's like the biggest reason why you would release the maiden. There are other scenarios, but it's like if
Very situational.
yeah, and if enemy team is gonna have a team where they can't really kill the maiden solo, if they don't have a Yasuo, if they don't have a Fiora, if they just have Kennen, like a mage mid or something, where they can't really kill the maiden, if it's gonna have like, I don't know, 3k HP or something, and you're gonna have Shadrillo Scratch, maybe it's just gonna be too hard for them to kill a maiden quickly, then you can maybe drop it. But it's so hard to see in advance when you're gonna drop the maiden, if it's gonna be a good maiden or not. Most of the times you're just gonna see it afterwards. Oh, this maiden sucked. It didn't do anything. Or oh, just ended the game. It's really hard. Like even for me that played so many hundreds of games, Yorick, I still find it hard. Some games I say screw it and just drop the maiden just to see what's gonna happen. So maybe it's gonna teach me something. But yeah, that's pointless most of the times. Okay, so you killed the Yasuo is here.
I get absolutely wrecked by this Yasuo.
Where if Fioris, I was just thinking if you could maybe do Nash. Because at this stage, even if Yasuo would get inhib, if you could just take the Nash, it could salvage the game. Now you don't have too much life still. Maybe it's a bit tricky if you're gonna be that low. And maybe Fiora is gonna come. You also don't have too many ghouls. You have 2 ghouls. I feel like it might be possible. Go for this. Then again, Samira has no life steal, so maybe not. I think if she had like 50% health, I would just go Nasher.
Yeah.
Then you don't care about maybe their Now you're gonna fight him, he's 10 kills.
Oh, it's not this bit then. I swear I 1v1 him at one point.
Yeah.
It does not go well.
But I also think here is a good scenario where you can just drop the good spots. You kill this Rev, you get 4 golds. Yeah, so surely he's gonna base here. Because he's not gonna stick around here. And he's gonna be alone. Team is dead. Your team just based. So he's gonna base most of the times. If you just hover around here, make sure Samido's not gonna go and take your wave. And you can spawn the ghouls here. Because next objective is still gonna be Nash. If you just have some ghouls here, so he's gonna push without you. You don't have teleport now, so you don't wanna be stuck bot. Having some ghouls here, perfect.
Okay.
I also think here, at this stage, what is your third item gonna be, do you think?
I think I either go, it'll be Grudge or Black Cleaver. It
Yeah.
probably, I guess, should be Black Cleaver for the volley.
I would probably get Shirilla. I feel like
I think I do get Grudge.
Ah.
But I think in my head, I feel like it should be Black Cleaver, but I think I do get Grudge.
I mean the thing with Volibear is it's not tanky. So you don't need Black Cleaver to shred him. Even if you do, Shirilla's gonna shred him like, about the same anyway, and the slow is so good for Yorick. But I think here, like, you're level 13. I think my only goal now should be to make sure enemy team is not gonna get Nash too easily. And I just want to get level 16. If I can get level 16 and I get enough gold for Shirilla, then I feel like I can maybe just 1v9 the game. So, just dropped ghouls here. They're gonna push. We're gonna go straight top. We're gonna spawn ghouls here as well. Then, you stay with the team. Now, you do have hull breakers, so maybe you want to stay on side. But it's just super easy for enemy team to just pick a fight. But then if you're gonna be here, you can maybe just cage them. Maybe it's harder for them to pick a fight. On ghouls here. And as soon as you have ghouls here, you don't need to stay to hit the wave. Because you're gonna get most of the waves anyway. Just spawn ghouls. And then just defend your team.
Oh, yeah.
And then we have the famous E.
Yeah. And I think I told Nocturne that he wasn't worth on Maiden.
Yeah. But you can see here, like, no one for enemy team is gonna be bot. Because there's no reason to. And if you spawn gold spots, they're not gonna see it on the minimap. Unless they click on the minimap and they see it. So, you see that, alright, it's gonna be a couple of minions here pushing. They don't care. But if it's gonna be 4 ghouls, if you're lucky, so when the wave is gonna crash on this tower, it's gonna be on a cannon wave, your ghouls can use solo this tower. You can't really prepare for it. It's just sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And the wave will most likely crash before this wave anyway. But in some spots, maybe it's gonna work.
Yeah, I'm definitely not using my ghouls to let the max potential, but...
Yeah. Oh, we're just gonna pick fight here. Got my vision. Scared. Die. Now they're gonna get Nash or they just end game. Right, gonna get the dragon instead. But they could just take Nash at this stage. Here, gonna be 14. Now Nocturne is game. Same thing here, just get 4 ghouls, just leave the wave. I would just spawn ghouls, I would just take the Krugs. Now you're level 15. Gonna get stopped, you still don't have Shirilla. I think when you was 13, when you could just push out the silence, just focus on farming only, up until this point, I feel like you should be 16. You should have Shirilla. And then maybe you could do something. That's what's gonna go bot. Panache. Guess you're gonna. You're gonna be close. No. But I think which should we learn 16? There is a fairly high chance for you to kill him. I think. If you just place the cage correctly, and then there is a chance to. Then if you get 1k bounty, even if the enemy team is gonna get Nash, you're still gonna stall out the game long enough. But the Nash is not gonna matter, I think. And then maybe you can do something. Then it's just over. And then we can look at the second wind. It did 550 healing. And the way this game was played out, I don't think you need second wind. I think in other games you might need it if you're gonna play versus Jace or something top. But I would just try conditioning overgrowth a game or two. You just have the mindset that you're not gonna try to kill anyone before like 12-30 minutes. 14, I think it's 12. So just try that, just focus on farming, focus on getting good bases off, and then just see if it's gonna help you. I don't know if I have a good game. I can just show if I did something similar. Question so far?
No, I guess obviously, just like build-wise, then you're happy if I like the lethality kind of style. You're happy with me still kind of running that, or because I know obviously like if you go on like Lolalytics, people are running Trinity Force, but I don't know. I just don't feel like I get as like good results with it. I don't know.
I mean, I think some people, they also go Leandri. Doesn't mean that it's a good item for Yorick.
Yeah.
So I think if you play the lethality style a lot better, you just throw E and you just don't try to walk in and Q them and stuff,
Yeah.
then you stick with lethality. I think lethality Yorick is even better if you just wanna put ghouls aside, because they're just gonna have more damage.
Yeah.
We can just go with this game real quickly, like just the early game, see what I wanna do. So Volibear is gonna be stronger than me. I don't wanna walk up. I'm gonna start Q. Just not gonna get hit. Toss it. E. Push. I went Aura Shield here as well because I thought that Volibear is just gonna fight me a lot. But I think I could maybe get Longsword anyway. But here I could just E him with all the ghouls, try to fight him, but it's not gonna give me anything. It's not gonna make me push out the wave. It's just pointless, so I'm just gonna keep it here as long as possible. Then my jungler is gonna be around, so I think I'm gonna try to catch him now. Now I catch, now I have the ghoul ready. Then I'm gonna get a kill. Barely. But I think if we just wasted the ghouls before, and he would just drop a potion, maybe we don't get the kill.
Yeah.
Then push it out. And put a cage so he's not gonna be able to pull away that easily. I'm gonna take a base. We're gonna get some ghouls on the base. Then I have what the same goal as you had. I think in a different matchup I would get pickaxe. Since Volibear is a bit scary at level 6, so I just want to get some help so he's not gonna be able to one-shot me. Then I don't need to TP back. Same as you, just run back. Select the wave. I know he's still gonna be stronger than me, so you just don't want to walk up. You just want to wait for level 6 and then maybe I can do something. And even if I'm not gonna get all the minions, like walking after this minion, and then he's gonna trade with me, stun E, and he's gonna take like, I don't know, 30% health or something.
Yeah,
For one
worth it.
minion, it's never worth it. You can just think of it, a potion is gonna give you 120 health. It costs 50 gold. To get 50 gold, you need what, like 3 minions?
Yeah.
And then if one minion, and he's gonna get like 200 health from me, it's not worth it. If I can't sustain up. Soon I'm gonna get my 6 and then add my level 6. Can actually fight him, and then thing I like to do, especially in those matchups where I know that enemy top is just gonna push the wave, and then he can use roam or he can use base. So Volibear, we have Darius, Garen to some extent. Just having a ward in the bush, you see where he's gonna base. Because then look at my vision. Okay, so I kill the wave. I'm gonna crash the wave. I either see him basing in this wave, or in this bush, or I see him walking into this bush. I don't need to have a ward in this bush to know that he's gonna base here. If I see that he's just running into the bush. That way I could just give 1 or 2 minions and just stop his base. Now he's gonna stay for the plate. And kind of smell that I had a ward. It's pretty good, because this was pretty similar to a base Fiora got in your game, I think. Maybe it's not similar, but when she based at the turretier, you remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the same thing there, like if no Fiora is basing, if you have time, just look where she's basing, if you could stop her once or twice. If I knew that Volibear is gonna be here, and it's gonna base, I'm not sure if I'm gonna go for it. Probably don't. But if you could stop it, it's gonna help you so much.
I think sometimes in my head, I'm like, I'll let them base so it's easy to play.
Yeah, but if they're gonna have like 40% health and no mana, you don't want them to base. Because they can't do anything anyway, and they're gonna be scared.
Yeah.
Keep it back. Quicker, maybe. At this stage, I have ghouls up here. I have my ultimate ready. I don't want to pop ultimate before I find a good angle. Because if I do, Volibear's just gonna one-shot it. So I'm gonna shank him a bit. Gonna see. Is my E here, which sucks a bit. Now, I'm just afraid if he's gonna die me with the ultimate, maybe. So I saved the maiden for that. If I wouldn't save the maiden, and I do a bad trade earlier, and he's gonna kill the maiden, he's just gonna die me here. And I can't do anything about it. Just saving the maiden, like when you actually need it, is really important. Because Yorick at this stage, without a maiden, it just sucks. It doesn't do anything. This is something we didn't really talk about that much before.
I mean, like the Gromps and their Croaks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen you do it in your other videos, yeah.
Yeah, so I think at this stage, with 3 goals, they could solo the Grump. And I didn't know that Briar was around. My only goal here is just, alright, I'm gonna get the Grump here. So I don't really want to walk into a Volibear who could be hiding. And that way, you can get so much more farm by just taking Grump, taking Krugs. If you have free time and your jungler is like gonna be on the other side of the map, because he's not gonna lose too much. And if Briar wouldn't go for the minions here, like even the blue buff, you can see that my jungler is here. And I know for certain that enemy jungler is gonna be topside, trying to get the rift. If I can take blue, I can take Grump, I can take wolves. That's so good for us.
Oh, would you go that far?
Yeah, I mean, as far as I can go. Because
Yeah,
if Evelyn is gonna be here, and I see that she's not gonna try to base, she's gonna try to dive, or go for dragon or something. What's gonna happen is that Briar is gonna get the rift. She's gonna walk into here. She's gonna say, "Oh, a blue buff. I'm gonna take it." And then it's just pointless, and just get a lot.
we may as well
But in this scenario, I have no vision. I know Volibear has the ultimate. If Briar is gonna be here, you're gonna die me. And I know that she should be on Rift. I did see her now, but if I wouldn't have seen her, I would just assume that, alright, new camps are gonna be up, but Rift is up. Surely she's gonna be here. And then I don't wanna stay here, wait for the wave to come in, and they're gonna die me. Instead, just take the blue, take the Grump, take the Corpse. So you stand there and just wait. And let's say you're gonna lose 1 or 2 waves. That's fine, you still got like 200 gold here. A bit more maybe. And now Eve is gonna ping, hey, what happened to my camps? Now,
Well, yeah.
if I would take it, and she saw that I took it, she would just maybe rage quit.
Yeah.
Even though it's like the correct play to do, I think. Yeah, no vision, so I'm just gonna sit here, just wait. The goods, I can fight. Just barely survived. Get a kill.
A lot of damage.
It's so scary. And I'm gonna get 2 plates. I don't have TP. I also don't... Okay, I think I have enough gold for my mythic, but I don't want to give Volibear 3 plates, and it's just no ultimates. I could stay, because I know he's not gonna be able to die me. If he tries, I could catch him, and it's gonna be like 1 for 1. Push that, then don't really want to stick around. I just want to get my mythic, Maybe he's gonna get a plate too. So, I don't know if I placed a ward here.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. When I base, I like to just drop a ward here. It's the same as dropping a ward here in a way, where I just want to see some... I want to have some intel, so now when Volibear is gonna push this next wave, if I'm gonna see him walking into the bushes to recall, or if he's gonna go like down towards mid. That way I know that, alright, he's gonna go into the bushes, he's gonna base. If he's gonna go down here, most likely he's gonna look mid, or he's gonna put a ward here or something. So that's just gonna help me. We can see now that, alright, I see him moving this way. So now that he's not gonna be stuck here, just waiting for me. So I should have some time, take a base, and run back. Now it is Volibear, so he's gonna one-shot away quickly anyway. But I need to get my base off, and this is just gonna be the best way I can do it. Also, when the final kill wave, did that. Alright, he runs into this bush. So no, now, alright, he's gonna base.
Yeah.
I don't need to be afraid that maybe he's gonna be here with Briar, maybe he's gonna be here waiting for me. I know that, alright, he's gonna base. Now, I can also press tab and I see his gold, so I know like roughly he's gonna have enough gold for the mythic. Then I'm gonna be here quicker. Have the maidens, I could just fully push it out. And I wanted to go for plate, but I didn't do it quick enough. Now it's still like, even if I have Divine, Volibear all in is still gonna be stronger than me, so you still don't wanna pick a stupid fight. I don't wanna E here, so the maiden's gonna die. Wanna wait a bit, because I know late game, Volibear's not gonna have a chance against me, so I don't need to fight him. Here, I got a bit bamboozled.
Yeah, because it really does look like he goes.
Yeah, I mean it's really smart. Just fake it like that.
Yeah.
But that's also like, if I had a ward here still, that would just give me the info. Gotta pick a trade, win somewhat. Try to kill Medan. Got a kill, and then I know his new teleport. So, like, in this game, I haven't really tried to get the plays. It just kind of happened.
Yeah.
When we got the first kill, I got 2 plates. And then, like, up until I have my mythic, I don't think it's worth it to try to get a plate, but then after the mythics, you could try to get it. If it's gonna be by you killing enemy top, and he's not gonna have TP, you take it. Or if you go Ravenous Hydra or something and you just try to bully him out. You don't need to kill him, depending on matchup. Get a kill, and then 1 minute before 40 minutes, it's just perfect for me. Also gonna be a cannon wave, then I just take last blades.
Yeah, so that kill is well, yeah, you get obviously the 300 odd gold for the kill, the 3 plates, and the first tower.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So I think like getting the first item, if it's gonna be Mythic or Ravenous, that's gonna take some time. But getting the second item, I feel like it goes so quickly, just because you have so many plays to collect. You normally at this stage you're gonna get jungle camps as well. Even if you don't kill people, I feel like it's so easy to just get enough gold for second item. That when you're gonna have second item, you're gonna be level 13 maybe. You're gonna be so strong.
You going hull breaker as well?
Yeah, mainly I think it's my thought process here is that alright, they have Magic Pen Boots mid, they have a Volibear who's gonna do like 50-50 damage. So here I need some armor or some magic resist. But I don't want to build, let's say I go, I don't know, Hex Drinker and I get Tabi. That's just gonna spend so much gold to get the resistances. But then if I just get Hullbreaker, I'm gonna get both anyway.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a good choice here. And also know that I'm gonna beat Volibear inside anyway, so if I just go side, I'm just gonna win late game anyway. Here I wanted to... So they had a ward. This is like fairly similar to what happened your game. Whereas they have a pink here, so I know they have vision on it. I'm gonna pull the rift here. And then hopefully Volibear is gonna assume that I'm gonna be taking the rift here. So he's gonna come. I'm gonna try to bait him, walk into here. Then I can pick a fight because I know he's stronger. I think he's gonna see the rift. But if he would just walk this way, just to check on rift, I'm just gonna kill him, or I'm gonna get the ultimate. But if they had a normal ward, I will maybe just start it, and then maybe Volibear's gonna come and maybe just take it or something. Push. I could leave
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
ghouls here to push it out, but I just thought Volibear would take it. Also wanted to have some ghouls on the rift without using the maiden. You're gonna pick a fight.
So you, well, obviously I'm seeing it now, but you try and take like rift and dragon if you're gonna sneak it without maiden. If you had the 3 ghouls already.
I mean, I want to start without the maiden, but I don't want to be forced to use the maiden. So if no one is coming, I want to keep the maiden. If they're coming, I'm just gonna put the maiden, just either go for the rift or just try to kill them. But it's just so I'm gonna have some options. And also on dragon, most of the dragons you just throw your ghouls, 4 ghouls, like 1 to 2 item. They're just gonna be able to solo it. It's not gonna be the same on rift, but like here, let's say I would be bot here. Entire enemy team is topside fighting for rift or something. If I have no ghouls, I just walk here, kill Krugs, get 4 ghouls. I just walk here, I just throw the E, and then I just go bot, and put the maiden bot, and you start splitting here, while enemy team is gonna fight for the rift. Maybe they get rift, maybe they don't. But then they're not gonna notice that I'm doing dragon while pushing bot.
Yeah.
So they're just gonna try to defend here, and I'm gonna have the maiden. So if they don't try to stop me, I'm gonna get both turrets and dragon. So I think wasting the maiden if you don't need it is always bad. Like even late game, I never used the maiden before I need it. Let's see.
Red team has
So now I could just pop the maiden if I want to, but it's better if I'm gonna get some ghouls up here. I think I'm gonna base for Hullbreaker now anyway. Now I'm gonna get ghouls, I imagine. Good base. Yeah, so now I base, and I have 4 ghouls, and I have the maiden ready. Like, just throw E, 4 ghouls, they kill the ghouls, so just pop maiden again. This is just gonna give me so much more fighting power. Let's see. Happen here, they're gonna pick by top. I have TP, but I feel like this is just a random fight, what I don't wanna be a part of. I feel like it's more consistent for me. Just stay here and just take the turrets. Because even if my team is gonna lose, enemy team is not gonna get anything. Now, if Nash was up, maybe I need to TP to just help them. I push here. Don't have the maiden up yet. Pop the rift. Flank them a little bit. Tower. Run away. Now I can use the maiden. But instead of here, only having the maiden and no ghouls, use it here and I'm gonna get the ghouls. I think if I play this without the ghouls, I don't think I'm gonna kill Briar. I did. Maiden died. Sucks.
Got dragged. Well, yeah, 2 kills. Well, no, 1 kill, 2 towers.
Yeah. And here, I think I'm just gonna drop the ghouls. Yeah. I'm just gonna base like this, just to make sure we're gonna hit the tower. Or hit the wave. Let's see if I'm also gonna get a cannon, maybe. Yes. That's perfect. And now, if Akali wasn't here, with a cannon wave, I could maybe take Inhib alone. Now Akali's gonna be here, but I don't lose anything by doing this. And if your enemy team playing into a Yorick, and on every chance he's gonna get, he's gonna put ghouls on side. It's so annoying to deal with. Let's say I would put ghouls here as Yorick, then I TP top, put ghouls here, and I just go mid. Or I go towards Nash and you start Nash. If you're enemy team, what do? Bot is pushing, top is pushing, and they're starting Nash. You're kind of forced to just go towards Nash. And then if we're just baiting and top is gonna push, we're gonna lose so much gold. And I'm gonna get so much XP. How we get the Nash. Gonna go top. I have 1k gold. But the dragon is spawning. I'm just gonna be 4th dragon for enemy. My thought process here is that... Okay. I don't have TP. If I just pressure top now with Nash and Hullbreaker, they can't go dragon. If they go dragon, I just end the game. Now they have to send like multiple people towards me. And I'm somewhat ready for it. And then Draven, he can't enter. Because of Shirilda.
If you did die here and you guys got that dragon, then it's worth.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's worth since we're so far ahead. If I'm gonna die. But it's better than if I'm gonna go towards dragon and we're gonna lose the fight and they get dragon.
Yeah.
Because then they're gonna kill me and get dragon. But now if they only kill me, like, sure, it sucks a bit, but I should be able to just... If we just play it safe, and we have some vision, so I see that enemy team is gonna go for me, then it should be so hard for them to kill me. I just surrender at this point. Then... I went 2nd win this game, I think.
They reach for you.
I did not. But yeah, I like even into Volibear, which is passive, that's always gonna hit me in lane. I don't really need it. If you just play it correctly. I also think Demolish is maybe not the best choice here. Maybe it should just be Overgrowth anyway. Because it should be hard for me to get Demolish procs in Volibear early. And then at this stage, I don't need Demolish to just one-shot the tower.
Yeah, especially with the Hull Breaker, yeah.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, Demolish is just nice for just sneaking in plates at the beginning, really.
Yeah, and I think like having Demolish, sometimes it's gonna make you stay to get a plate where it's better to just take a base instead.
Yeah.
So if you have 1100 gold and you're gonna get to the Phage or something, getting a plate that's gonna give you 175 more gold, you're not gonna get anything with it. If you just plan ahead when you want a base on how much gold, then I feel like you don't need Demolish. And
Yeah,
then
okay.
even if Demolish would give you 2 extra plates in a game, that's 350 gold. But then we already know that we just go conditioning instead. It's gonna give me 500 gold every game. I
Guaranteed,
don't
yeah.
need to do anything.
Yeah.
Um,
So overgrowth and conditioning.
yeah, I think Overgrowth is better scaling option compared to Revitalize. But then if you're gonna go Divine or you're gonna go Ravenous Hydra, you're just gonna have more fighting power early. Revitalize it's gonna give you more value. I think I take it here. Yeah, so I know I'm gonna rush Divine and I have Grasp. Then I'm also gonna get some extra healing on the Q. So I know that, alright, when I get my Divine, I wanna be as strong as possible to Rennek. To Revitalize is gonna be better for me. But if you know it's gonna be a matchup where you're gonna go Sprint Force Hullbreaker and you're just gonna farm up beside and you don't need the healing early, then just go Overgrowth, I think.
Yeah, but I could still run that if I went, like, I don't know, Ravenous Hydra, Duskblade, Grudge, Black Cleaver, Hullbreaker, whatever. Or
Going what rune?
overgrowth and conditioning.
Oh yeah, I mean you can. I think. What do you take secondary? You go because you can do boots and approach velocity when you go lethality. I used to do it a lot in the past because I just loved it with Shirelda. You throw E, and it's just
Yeah, I think
easier to
my
catch
build
people.
order is what I mess up with the most, or like what items I should be building. I guess, like I said earlier, like I seem to have more success with lethality. It's when I started switching about and changing what used to work consistently, is when things have proper started to go wrong.
Yeah,
Whereas before, like say, I had a point. I think I'd generally build Black Cleaver first for the health, just to be a bit more durable, and then get Duskblade and then Grudge. Some games I wouldn't even get Hullbreaker, but I think it's worth just to keep getting Hullbreaker early as not first item but second item.
yeah. I think conditioning is extra good if you get Hullbreaker, just because you're gonna get 3% more armor and magic resist. Already gonna give you quite a lot. I think I'm actually not sure if you go full lethality, what you want to get in secondaries. Because sometimes I just do boots approach velocity, but I haven't played it that much recently, so I just can't remember how it is.
Yeah. Okay. Well, okay. Then, in your opinion, what kind of build do you think I should be going for at the moment?
When you do like lethality build or just
Or just general, like I guess like go like the Trinity Divine, or
I think it depends a lot on playstyle.
yeah. Like I say, I do like using the E, and kind of getting kills, kind
Yeah,
of around with the slows and stuff.
I coached another guy who was like really good on landing E's, but he didn't really utilize. He didn't really queue and then just kite out, wait for Shin proc, and just walk in and queue again. But he was really good on just landing E all the time. and he wasn't sure if he wanted to or what he should build, if he should go Trend Force or Divine or something. But then, like, the way he played, I feel like lethality is always gonna be better. So unless you learn how to maximize the Shin effect and the way you play with it, just like going lethality, good at it, you know how to play it. I I feel like it's pointless to change playstyle.
And you're saying that obviously still works, getting like Ravenous Hydra going lethality still.
I think it's a lot worse than what it used to be. Like the previous season, I went a lot of lethality, especially with Brawler. But
Yeah.
but I think nowadays this is the safest option and the easiest option. It also depends a bit on matchup.
What going Divine?
I like Divine a lot. Like, even though Trinity Force does more damage, I feel like having the extra healing and the way I play is that I don't just, if I'm gonna throw E and cage someone, I just don't right click them and just spam Q. I do like auto attack Q, auto attack, and then I just back off a bit so they can't hit me. I just wait for the Q and then I just repeat. That way, I feel like Divine just makes more sense. In other games, like into Olaf, then I feel like it's pretty easy. Alright, you're just gonna stand there and you're just gonna slap him, hope for the best.
Yeah.
Then you can maybe do a Trinity. But I think it's a bit preference style.
Yeah, because like if I'm learning, I don't know, like Alawis and Scions and Garens and Dariuses, like it's so satisfying just throwing any at them when you've built full lethality and they're stuck in a W in your walls and can't do anything.
Yeah, it's just if you miss the E or if they flash the E, then what?
And then like I say, I'm trying to learn Alawi at the moment, and she is, if you miss your E, you die.
Yeah. Right. I think that's most of what I had. You don't have any questions?
No, I don't think so.
Just try to focus more on the farming, more on trying to get a good base of, and just plan ahead what you wanna do instead of, oh, a fight is happening. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna fight and I hope I'm gonna win. Because if you play it like that, it's just gonna be coin flip if you win or lose. But if you plan ahead and you focus on farming, don't take any unnecessary risks. I feel like that way you can dictate the games.
Yeah.
And then even if your team is gonna run it down, you can still, in some games, 1v9. Not every game, but some games.
Yeah, definitely.
Alrighty. And then, like, just write to me later on if you have any questions about something.
Yeah, I appreciate the help. It was insightful.